My ex cheated on me with a guy named Mike. That betrayal, that particular moment, walking in on them in our apartment, still feels like a bruise beneath my skin. The affair had gone on for months behind my back. When I finally caught them, it wasn't just infidelity. It was a full collapse of everything I believed about love, trust, and safety. She confessed everything. I ended it right there. What stung worse was knowing Mike was never some stranger. He knew she was with me, knew I loved her, and still, he had no issue creeping into our life like rot. That was 2 years ago. I've spent every day since trying to rebuild what shattered. Then I met Kelly. Kelly has been incredible. We've been together 6 months now, and she's been nothing short of kind, warm, and steady. The kind of person you don't just fall for, but someone who lets you rest from the weight you've been carrying. A few weeks ago, she took me to a company party her workplace was hosting. She wanted to introduce me to her coworkers, the people she spends her days with. I was genuinely excited to be part of her world. But as we made the rounds and she introduced me to everyone, I locked eyes with someone I never expected to see again. Mike. There he was, standing in front of me like a ghost that never left. He seemed just as surprised, and neither of us said anything. No greetings, no acknowledgments. Just a tension that hung heavier than the air in that crowded room. Later, back at her place, I asked Kelly about him. I tried to keep my tone even, but my chest was already tightening. She looked uneasy, almost confused, but eventually admitted she and Mike used to be friends with benefits. She didn't know what he'd done to me. I'd never told her his name, just that my ex had cheated. When I told her Mike was a guy, the one who had helped destroy me, she was stunned. She quickly assured me that she and Mike were done long before we met, that there was nothing between them now, that I could trust her. And I wanted to. God, I want to. But something in me just wouldn't calm down. I couldn't breathe easy knowing the man who took so much from me had also once touched the woman I now care for. I couldn't ignore the fact that they see each other every day at work, that they once shared intimacy, that he knows things about her I've only just begun to discover. It gnawed at me. I didn't want it to, but it did. I talked to some people, asked if I was overreacting. Some said yes, that Kelly hadn't done anything wrong, that it was just bad luck, a miserable coincidence. Others said if it were them, they wouldn't be able to stomach it either, that even if no one's to blame, peace of mind still matters. I didn't know what to do. 3 days later, I sat down with Kelly and poured everything out. I told her about the betrayal, about the night I walked in on my ex and Mike, how my insides collapsed under the weight of it, how I felt like I couldn't even cry because I didn't want to show them the full measure of my heartbreak. I told her how deeply it scarred me, how I've carried that pain, tucked it under everything I do, even now, and how learning that she had been with Mike, the Mike, felt like I'd stumbled back into that darkness again. She listened, really listened. Then she reached for my hand and said she'd do whatever it took to make me feel secure. She explained that her fling with Mike was just that, a fling. She had wanted something real, something lasting. And Mike never offered that. They ended it long before she met me. She said once I came into her life, she never looked back, and she had no idea Mike was capable of what he'd done to me. If she had known, she swore, she never would have touched him. I decided to give us a chance. I didn't want to let ghosts from my past ruin the possibility of something real. She joked gently, trying to lighten the mood. Guess you won't be coming to any more company parties, huh? I half smiled and said, I won't let Mike keep me from living my life with you. I asked if she'd have my back if anything happened again with him. She laughed and said, if he starts anything, I'll tell everyone what a tiny dick he has. We hugged, and in that moment I felt lighter, not healed, but hopeful. A month passed. We're still together. The anxiety still rears its head now and then, tying my stomach in knots. But something good and bad happened. Mike crossed a line. He texted Kelly multiple times, harassed her, said things about me, tried to restart whatever they had. It was disgusting, but Kelly didn't keep his secret. She showed me everything. He even got in her personal space at work, cornering her trying to be smooth. Thankfully, a couple of her co-workers witnessed it, and Kelly, to her absolute credit, didn't ignore it. She reported him. She collected the messages. She blocked him on every platform. She stood her ground. And Mike, he got fired. Turns out, this wasn't the first time he'd been warned for inappropriate behavior. This was just the last straw. Part of me feels sick that Kelly had to go through that at all. But another part of me, when I almost feel guilty for acknowledging, feels relief. He's out of her workplace, out of her daily life, and out of our lives, finally. I still trust Kelly. I never stopped. Even when the past came crashing in, even when the worst-case scenarios looped through my head, she never gave me a reason to doubt her. Mike may have tried to steal from me again, but this time he lost. And I have a partner who chose me, stood up for us, and proved that not everyone leaves when things get heavy.